My name is Rob Barber, and I'm addicted to chewing tobacco. Like a motherfucker. I started chewing after Marine Corps basic training. I was on the bus to my next training. It was MCT or Marine Combat Training, and I sat down next to this real country dude. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a tin of Skoal straight long cut. He does his little thing, and he puts this fat lipper in. And then he asked me if I want one. He also warned me that I might throw up if I tried it. Well, I thought for a minute about that scene in the Sandlot where all the boys do the chew and they throw up all over at the state fair. But I wanted to be perceived as cool and with it, so I said something like,
"Throwing up is for chumps. Give me that shit."
Somehow I never threw up, and somehow that made me appear cooler to these guys, or that's what I thought, and it was all downhill from there. I found my chew of choice, and it was this sweet, sweet stuff, Copenhagen wintergreen. And from that point on, we were like sinister soulmates. I was buying tins and tins of this stuff daily and chewing like it was my job. I chewed after meals, I chewed while driving, I chewed while writing papers, playing music, you name the activity, and I found a way to chew during it. At first I would hide it from people besides my very, very close friends because I didn't want to be perceived as gross or trashy. You might notice a pattern here, a whole lot of me doing things based on what I think others will think of me. Yeah. Over the last 7 years, I've done various things to hide it from girlfriends and family members and acquaintances. I would sneak out of dinner parties and weddings just to get a quick fix in, hoping that no one would notice I was gone. I kept a cheap toothbrush, some toothpaste, and some mouthwash in the center console of my car, so when I would drive to dates, I would chew the whole way there and then stop right before I got there and do a quick cleanup just in time to remain undetected. It is only recently that I stopped hiding it because I finally gained a little bit of confidence in who I am as a person, but that almost made it worse. People actually accepted me as a man who was addicted to chew, and I thought that was the free pass for me to continue chewing. I know it doesn't really work that way. So you may be wondering why I'm in a suit. One more quick story. I had a staff sergeant in the Marines who I didn't particularly get along with most days, but he was my boss, and I'm sure many people can relate to that. He was, however, once a smoker and was able to quit and stay quit, and he was understandably very proud of that. So one time I asked him, Staff Sergeant, what's your secret? He told me that he had a very close family member who died of lung cancer directly related to smoking. So he shines his shoes, does his hair, puts on his dress blue uniform, and goes to the graveyard where his family had been buried, and he lights up what ended up being his final cigarette. He told me to make it into a ceremony and give it some meaning, because if you try to do anything without meaning, how far are you really going to get? Pretty good point. So here I am, 5 years later, finally taking Staff Sergeant Malela's advice. I just finished a very ceremonial chew, and my way of giving this thing meaning is video blogging about it. For the next 90 days or so, in addition to doing Body Beast, I will also be video blogging my progress of my new journey of trying to become tobacco-free. One day at a time. So starting tomorrow, starting today, starting right now, no more chew for this guy. I want to be free from this addiction. I want to make decisions based on important things instead of when I'm going to be able to get my next fix in. So I'm going to start that off by dumping my final tins out. I've thrown all of them away except for 3. This is the tin that I used to keep in my car. This is the tin that I used to keep next to my bed. And this guy right here, this is the guy that I carry with me in my back pocket at all times. It's gonna be hard to part ways with you, buddy. From this point on, if you see me chewing, slap me in the face, kick me in the nuts, yell at me, f***ing tell my mom. I'm done. This is it. I know I like to say never quit again, but I'm gonna have to come up with a new catchphrase now. Because I think just this once, quitting is okay. And now is the time. Well, thank you for listening. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.